Okay, let's talk about the Cartesian coordinate system. We will be using this coordinate system throughout. Okay? And it's still designed like this. We have one axis that points to the east. Okay? It's called the x-axis. Then we have one axis that points to the north. It's the y-axis, and we have a vertical axis that points upward. And somewhere we have a point of origin. This is how we identify locations. And for example, you can locate any float through its three coordinates, x1, y1, and z1. And you can also work out what's the distance of a float from the point of origin, and you use a Pythagoras type of equation, square root of all the individual components squared, the sum of these components. So that's one bit. You can also work out the velocity of a float. The velocity of a float. And so what is it? Velocity means to do with the speed and with the direction. So you can split up in three-dimensional space, you can split up the velocity in three components. And you have one component called u, which gives you the location change over time in the x direction. Yeah, it's called dx dt. V you call the location change that you have in the y direction, dv dt. And W you refer to the change in the vertical direction. Okay, so how your location, your float, the location of this float changes. And the speed of your float can be again derived from a Pythagoras type of equation, just the square root of the sum of all the squares of your component. This is how you can work out. Okay? And now the third thing that you can do, you can even go one step further. And this is what we call Newton's laws of motion. I go a little bit here into the corner. And it is to do with the acceleration or deceleration of your path. And this can also be split up into three components. You can have an acceleration component in the x direction that we call du dt. And it is actually consequence of a force, a residual force in this direction. You have a force in that direction, you actually get an acceleration of the u component. And similarly in the other two directions. And these three components, there are the components of a vector. So location is a vector, velocity is a vector, and force is a vector. This is how we can express these forces. We can actually split it up into three equations. Okay, let's talk about the next important thing. What is a scalar? What is a vector?